you can see, all rule includes an action, a behavior we can both perform and observe, things that we can do to improve a school culture. Now let me illustrate this by short video about the rules of my classroom. It is extremely important to make school culture visible. We put up signs and phrases everywhere, create a tech cloud of values and make a big poster with it. Visualize school rules. It demonstrates our commitment and provides a common language around desired actions. In a nutshell, building school culture on the values basis forms a strong sense of community in the school. To ensure that everyone's voice heard and everyone shares an understanding of the school's values, which then shape daily interactions, all students, teachers, and parents should be involved into identifying the common school values. Then the rules based on the common values should be created. This in turn leads to innovation and performance. So in the first part of this speech, we've covered the importance of selecting the common values, visualizing them in an appropriate format, and creating school rules based on the targeted values. Now I'd like to move on to the second part of my speech, which looks at implementing values into learning process. I want to highlight three important aspects. The first one is using values-based strategies. Some teaching techniques have great values input for students. However, usually these values-oriented activities appear to be fragmented and greater coordination is required. That is why the second aspect is incorporating specialist values and incorporating values as a cross-cutting line into curricula and lesson plans. Teachers of our school design lesson plans and integrate the content of a specialist subject with values shaping aims, content, and methodology. The third aspect is that statements referring to concrete observable behavior of a person according to the values, participation, fairness, equity, diversity, so on, are formulated in the language of learning outcomes in order to be relevant for the design and implementation of learning activities. To achieve this goal, the model of competences for democratic culture by the Council of Europe is used. Let me illustrate this by such expected learning outcomes as, for example, a student gives space to others to express themselves. A student expresses respect for other people as equal human beings. These are the specific actions that define such value as respect. One more example shows that he or she accepts responsibility for his or her action, shows that he or she takes responsibility for own mistakes, and these are the specific actions that define responsibility. Such concrete outcomes ground our values in experience rather than abstraction, expressing their true meaning and demonstrating what they are. To summarize, when values are incorporated as a cross-cutting line into curricula and lesson plans, more powerful classrooms are established and educational impact is significantly increased. And I think it's the most important message of my speech. Thank you, and the floor is yours, Inna.
Thank you, Natalia. According to your speech, we could see that values are necessary part of our work and students' education. And one more question for you. What value or values became important to you during the pandemic?
Okay, you know, Inna, it's a very interesting question, and I think two of them. Resilience and flexibility are extremely important in the VUCA world, and especially during pandemic. We all should adapt to changing world, being resourceful and open to new ideas. And now I want to give you resilience and flexibility.
Thanks, Natalia.
Yeah.
Thanks. And now we'll speak about cooperative learning because it is so important parallel with values. So our next speaker, Irina Yeliseyeva, presents the following step, how to implement cooperative learning strategies effectively. Irina.
Welcome everybody. Hope you are having a great time. As Natalia mentioned, children face new challenges which require us teachers to step up our support in the classroom. We need to give children not only knowledge but values, skills, critical thinking and attitudes to provide a set of common values around which to organize. Not only to teach children what to think, but rather how to think in order to navigate a world where everyone holds their views. Successful implementation of values in the educational process surely can't be achieved without using cooperative learning techniques. Compared to students learning on their own, students who are engaged in cooperative learning like the subject better. The techniques are fun, so the students enjoy them and are more motivated. They are more likely to make friends in class as it is interactive, so students are engaged, active participants in the learning. Have more self-esteem in consideration with female and minority students. Teachers get the chance to work on core competences and on students' communication and soft skills, which are valuable for students' success in life and work, integrating them in school curricula. Teacher staff of our school started introducing the new techniques approximately 10 years ago. This is the cooperative learning that came into play. There are over 200 strategies that have been introduced by our staff, which are content-free and can be easily implemented into daily lesson plan. They can be loosely categorized by the skills that each enhances: teaching, graphic organizing, writing, and problem solving. Such activities enhance important skills, including using the language of discipline, explaining, providing feedback, understanding alternative perspectives, discovering patterns and relationships, organizing and synthesizing information, developing strategies and analysis. Professional self-development of teachers was the result of our participation in Schools for Democracy project held by European Vergeland Center, Council of Europe, and the Ministry of Education, and the great desire of the teacher staff to be on the wave. Some strategies that I use quite often in my current classroom are round table, hand up and pair up, match mine, quiz trade, and jigsaws. I still have yet to implement more into my classroom. For my own experience, it was a challenge for me to introduce these strategies because they need to be used consistently in the classroom. Each strategy is quite different to implement, especially for young learners, because of the number of instructions given. But after the students understand the strategies are quite invigorating. As teachers, we have to face challenges and overcome our fears of trying something new. But you will be surprised how these strategies can help your students. Cooperative learning strategies can work in our classroom regardless of age groups, the number of students in a class, or subjects taught. Active incorporative of cooperative methods brought up the integrated lesson model. We utilized using tandem lessons, the interdisciplinary integration, which allows children to perceive the subject and the phenomenon comprehensively, systematically, and emotionally. Teaching with an integrated curricula has many benefits. It focuses on basic skills, content, and high-level thinking, provides a deeper understanding of content, encourages active participation in relevant real-life experiences, provides connections among various curricular disciplines, accommodates a variety of learning styles, theories, and multiple intelligences. The benefits of all our efforts lies in achieving great results while working on educational school projects. Implementation of project-based learning. A project, as a rule, is something students do after learning content in order to demonstrate understanding. But project-based learning is different. In a project-based learning approach, students are presented with a problem or issue strongly connected to the world beyond the classroom. In the process of exploring and engaging with the issue, students learn content and skills because they are needed in order to solve the problem or address the issue. I can emphasize that our ultimate goal is to help all students become curious, purposeful, thoughtful, collaborative learners. Let's hear some words from my students.
We really like such activities.
We have the chance to interact, sharing our opinions or coming to common decision.
We are more confident and easily face challenges.
So the lessons are not bored, we are learning and having fun.
Summing up, I want to stress on the following points. Cooperative learning is a trend of developing 21st century skills. Mastering cooperative learning strategies at the lessons, we give students the chance to apply their knowledge in a new educational environment. Implementing integrated lesson obviously helps to motivate students to study. Favoring the natural needs of students for social interaction, foster successful educational school projects accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you, Irina. Thank you. So, and I have a question for you. Can these affect students or not? I mean, of course, cooperative learning. And one more, please. What value or values became important to you during the pandemic? Because some of our guests likes the value bricks from our participant.
Of course, it can discourage or encourage students. This is according to the first question. But as for the values, I can say that I want to give respect and empathy because they are of great importance in such a difficult period of time.
Thank you, Irina, for your value bricks.
Thank you.
We'll continue to discuss. The next point is how could schools change the life of our communities? And Tatiana Nesva, Deputy Head of Department of Youth and Sports, Head of Youth Center People UA, knows the answers. Tatiana?
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be a part of a strong team of Melitopol educator. The interaction of authority, students and teacher is an important process in building a democratic society in which everyone is interested. Our cooperation between Department of Youth and Sport Melitopol City Council and Specialty School number 23 become much more effective after participating in joint project and defined shared values, common goals and interests. It is important point because every school has own characteristic and priority, and it's great when a school set is the goal the quality of knowledge and the development of active citizenship of their students. It may seem surprised by and difficult stakeholders and monitoring the effectiveness cooperation between the government, school, society showed us the need for mapping for the school, which include finding answer to such questions. First, who cooperated is useful for the school, how the school can be useful, with whom the partnership will be effective, where and what dangers for students, teachers and parents. They allow the school to enhance weakness, develop of strength and reduce strength. Answer for this question help us begin new constructive communication with municipal administration, students and school. Thanks for the teachers not hampered to activities of pupils and the support of their initiative. The students of school have become more and more activities in the city, activities of different direction, have initiative youth project, and the number of volunteer activities of pupil has been increased. Students have increasingly begun to attend training of youth center, have become interesting to the issue to the gender policy, and have shown a desire to learn more about the work of local government. An active method of dialogue has been to invite students to meet with the city head and deputies for communicate, for plan and informal to talk. It has been successful, and we as the Department of Youth and Sport can demonstrate for municipal leadership activists of school youth. The authorities become extremely interesting for youth project and increase financing for youth program. Also, the authorities and the school have the same goal. Each school needs a different approach and method of working with it. Brain of 5K successful practical step between municipal administration and school number 23 interesting interaction are full understanding of common values and interest, understanding educational its priority, but with combined from not formal and not formal educational motivation of students, not to be prohibited, but to help students put ideas to the right direction that has a social impact. And the most step, as for me, it's constructive communication between the government, educator and students. Thank you so much for your attention, and I wish all participate to believe in the succeed and strength of educational.
Thank you, Tatiana. It was very interesting to get to know the effective steps how to solve the community problems involving students, their parents, and community members into a partnership. And of course, we'll continue to speak about value bricks. What value or values became important for you during the pandemic period?
Well, to my opinion, is cooperation, and I give you it.
Thanks, Tatiana, for your value bricks and how to involve all group members in the process of making a decision. Let's listen to Natalia Furman. She is eager to tell you our ways to support a decision in the best interest of the whole project. Natalia.
Hi friends, I'm pleased to participate in this event. As Irina previously mentioned, mastering the skill of cooperative learning is essential in today's world. Cooperative learning provides children with an ability to make collegial solutions. This is something we are usually short of in our adult life. That's why we had to teach this to our teachers, parents, and students. There is a well-known practice of making decisions by voting or finding a compromise. But as you know, so many men, so many minds. If some people agree with something, the others are not satisfied with it. From the beginning, we have tried the voting procedure. As a result, majority is satisfied, but the rest are not. The compromise approach also has not provided the desired goal, as it is the solution based on mutual concessions. In our school, we have worked out 6 stages to make a common decision for all participants of educational process. And I would like to share some points of these stages. The first stage is informing, and in-time delivery of information to everyone involved. During the second stage, we have to create an initiative group of equal representations of teachers, students, and parents. Stage 3 deals with introducing new ideas. Then we move on to consulting in small groups, and stage 5 deals with consideration of agreed ideas and suggestions by the initiative group. The final stage includes the presentation of draft decision by the initiative group and the meeting of the school council or a conference and mutual adoption of a decision. All these steps allow us to reach the consensus on the decision-making framework that would satisfy all participants of the educational process. And the result of the consensus, the following top 10 rules were worked out. The school statute has been adopted for children, and here you can see there is color edition. The reorganization of the educational environment has been done not only in study rooms, but in hallways as well. The unified menu has been developed for the school's canteen. One of the highlights of making collegial solution is setting up of the recreational place for junior students, though our parents will give you a better take on that. Okay. In such a way, making the collegial solution unites all of the participants and proves that only when we act together, we are strong and capable of making new achievements. Thank you, Inna.
Thank you, Natalia. And And as usual, I ask you about values or value that became very important to you during the isolated period.
Well, as for me, it's communication. Indeed, my value is communication. Take this brief, please.
Thank you, Natalia. And dear guests, what values became important to you during the quarantine period? Write them in a chart, and please add our list. And we decide to build a tower, and with air principle, we add one more value to our tower. It's well-being. Look at our nice and charm tower with a list of values: respect, empathy, resilience, flexibility, communication, cooperation, and well-being. So let this tower help you value each other at difficult time. And we are coming up.
Hello.
We are coming up to the end of our event. So we'll revise the steps. 5 steps. So we have some problems with the internet. Let's revise these 5 steps shortly. Select the common values to students, teachers, and parents. Incorporate values as cross-cutting light into curricula and lesson plans. Implement cooperative learning strategies effectively. Create a map of the problems and potential opportunities of the school community. And be creative and flexible in establishing the procedure for making general decision. We are coming up to our meeting, and our team would like to say a lot of thanks to organizers of this fantastic event. We have been thrilled to be a part of such a fantastic event, Global Showcase. We have your unending support and admiration. And our school personally looks forward to attending next events from your organizations.
Hello, my name is Vikas Pota. The reason why we're organizing this global showcase for World Education Week is we believe that schools have incredible expertise in making sure that learning outcomes improve. Given the state of the world, we want to see the expertise from this particular school being replicated in schools all over our planet so that the world becomes better for everyone. That is why I congratulate this school for what it does and hope that those listening can take away conclusions as to how they should actually approach their own improvement journeys. Thank you all for participating, and I look forward to seeing you in many of the other events this coming week. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for supporting this incredible work, without whom we couldn't have put together this global showcase. Thank you, and I wish you well for this event.
Fast-paced social, economic, and technology-driven change is redefining our world. And having a broad range of skills, such as creativity and problem-solving, has become far more important than being able to memorize information. To redefine how our children learn and to empower them for the future, Parents, teachers and policymakers must stop overlooking a powerful part of the solution: learning through play. Play is the rocket fuel of child development, and there is a growing body of evidence to support that play is fundamental for children's positive growth and well-being over time. It is also an essential way to foster the skills required to thrive in today's world. The LEGO Foundation aims to build a future in which learning through play empowers children to become creative, engaged, lifelong learners. To do so, we work with a range of partners around the world to change the hearts and minds of all of those who influence children's lives through our programs, research and advocacy, so they can all embrace the transformative power of play. Examples of what we do include making sure that caregivers, practitioners and policymakers understand the importance of play, investigating, testing and scaling new ways to bring play-based learning into homes and schools, using play to help millions of the world's most vulnerable children cope with adverse childhood experiences and toxic stress, or conducting research with some of the world's leading research institutions. Please visit our website and follow us on social media to learn more.
Language connects us all. It's how friendships are formed, ideas are shared, and lessons are learned. Language is how we find understanding and express love. It's how we communicate our successes, both big and small. It lays the groundwork for learning and growth. And for an increasingly diverse student population, it can be the key to achievement in school and beyond. That's why Rosetta Stone Education is dedicated to language and literacy. We offer solutions designed to support teachers and their emergent bilingual students, recognizing and celebrating the knowledge, culture, and languages they bring to our classrooms. Our products are founded on the adaptive blended learning model for individual needs, continuous progress monitoring for better learning outcomes, and culturally responsive pedagogies for more inclusive classrooms. With solutions aligned with proficiency standards, we support language learning while exploring academic subject areas, paving the way to better outcomes. Because for all of us, language is everything.
Dear T4 community, we talk a lot about teachers these days, but we rarely listen to them. Therefore, I am truly excited to join the T4 World Education Week to hear from teachers and school leaders all over the world how we can impact learning together. I am particularly looking forward to the global showcase. 100 schools sharing their expertise and best practices, I believe, will be a huge motivation for other schools around the globe. I'm equally impressed by the T4 Solutions Challenge, its finalists and their solutions to real-world issues in education. This gives me hope that we can, together, turn around education globally. The Jacobs Foundation is a proud supporter of the T4 World Education Week because we share a vision to reimagine learning and education by bringing together the brightest people who understand how children learn. Let's do this together.
So time is coming up, but we have some interesting questions. We have only 1 minute to answer. So listen to it. What learning activities have values input for students? A very interesting question. I think Natalia Kidalova can help us and answer it. Welcome, Natalia.
Yeah, I tried to do it, and really this question is practical. There are a lot of values-based techniques, and I can point some of them during 1 minute. Yes, so at first maybe pupils setting their own targets for their work and behavior. Pupils involved in the assessment of their own work. The next one is for decision making, opportunity for role play so that skills associated with negotiation and cooperation are developed. Then maybe storytelling is a good technique, and that is not talking about values, but embodies and communicates those values. Then circle time discussion, social interaction through play, writing for and communicating with an audience, group drama work, reading and discussion of social issues, discussion of controversial issues, awareness of issues such as stereotyping, participation and equal opportunities in literature, in language. I think that a major issue is that without becoming aware of one's own values, well-planned steps and everyday direct practice, there can be no match or mismatch between own values and the values of others. So no targeted values to be reinforced, nothing to be changed. We can't ignore also the fact that values are caught by children as much as they are taught. This is significant because we adults, teachers, must provide and be a good example for our youth. Simply put, if we expect our youth to respect others, we must also show respect. Whatever values I wish to instill, I must be willing to represent myself. So that's the message, and that's the point.
Thank you, Natalia. And one more question. What disadvantages can we face while implementing cooperative techniques? Irina will explain us some points. Welcome, Irina.
Sorry, there is not enough time in the day to teach everything in isolation. A lack of time to plan effective units. Teachers are sometimes reluctant. These activities are very time consuming. But they are very, but it's worth it. Thank you.
Thank you, Irina. Dear guests, thank you for joining a one-hour school event during World Education Week today. It goes without saying that I also applaud our whole leadership team and colleagues for the commitment to developing our respective areas of expertise. Thanks and good luck.